Hello, dreamers. I'm your storyteller from My Dream Ease Tales. I know many of you love listening to our stories to get sleep. If you do love Reddit stories, why not consider hitting that like subscribe, maybe that notification bell too? Where are you listening from, and what time is it where you are? Drop your answers in the comments. I love hearing about the amazing places our stories travel to and the cozy moments they create. Now, settle in, take a deep breath, and let's begin tonight's journey into dreamland. Now, today's first story comes from a throwaway account. And before we do get into it, I do want to give you a warning that there is talk of miscarriage within the story. So if you do want to skip it, please feel free to do so. Timestamps are down in the description and along the timeline below. Thank you. Am I the asshole for leaving my dad's birthday dinner after overhearing my sister's comment about my miscarriage a few months ago? Me, 28 female, and my sister Eva, 33 female, realized that we were both pregnant. I'd say she was about 6 weeks further along than I was. She was struggling with infertility, so we were all happy for her. I have an older son, 2 male, with my husband, 32 male. Sadly, a couple of weeks ago, I lost my baby. We told my family, and they were all supportive, but I did sort of pull away from them. They would have tried to avoid discussing Eva's baby around me, but I didn't want to overshadow her, especially since she's wanted this for a long time. I didn't want to be reminded of my own loss whenever I saw her, so I haven't been to my parents' place for Sunday dinner since, or really spent time with Eva, which we had been doing a lot before. I replied vaguely to any messages about my absence. Wasn't the best communication from me. Yesterday, my parents were hosting a family dinner for my dad's birthday. I'd been thinking about going because I missed my family. While, of course, the pain of losing my child has not faded, I'm at a point where I can at least put it a little to the side to be there for my sister and my new niece when she is born. So I let my family know that we would be coming. However, we had to get a gift for my dad, and then my son had a bit of a tantrum. So we got to my parents' place about an hour late, wished happy birthday to my dad, and then went to the kitchen where my mom, Eva, and my sister-in-laws were. But before I went in, I heard them say my name, so I stopped. My mom was saying something like, "Well, I guess Opie's not coming." And Eva said, "What did you expect? She probably changed her mind and is just staying home again." Honestly, I'm sorry for her, but you would think she'd be the first woman to ever lose a kid. And it's not even a first kid. Then they kept talking about other things, but I just wanted to leave. I went and got my husband, who was with my brother-in-law, dad, and brothers in the living room. I told my dad I was really sorry, but we needed to go. They all protested, but my husband could see how upset I was, so he didn't. We got my son and left. When we got home, I just kind of cried for a while. My husband asked me what happened, and I told him. He was angry that she said that, but thought we shouldn't have abruptly left because my dad had been looking forward to seeing us, and my son missed his cousins. After this, I was feeling conflicted. Later, my brother texted me saying my dad had been really upset about us leaving and brought it up at dinner, which caused a whole fight because Mom and Eva realized that I must have heard them talking. And my dad was mad about it. My brother said it was pretty bad, and he wished I had just stayed so none of it would have happened. Obviously, Eva didn't mean for me to hear that. They were all just frustrated that I've been AWOL for so long now. I feel bad because I didn't mean to ruin dinner. Obviously, what Eva said was hurtful, but I can see how my actions might have led to her saying something out of anger. And I could have talked to her about it later instead of just leaving. I don't know. Am I the asshole? ETA for additional context. My family is the type to just drop by at each other's places and see one another multiple times throughout the week, besides just Sunday dinner. Lately, I've been kind of fielding off any request for people to visit. I just want to, I guess, emphasize how close my family is and how abnormal it is for me not to be seeing them regularly. Even for a little bit. I haven't been ghosting them, but I've just been texting them saying I'm not feeling up to it for dinner and kind of leave it there. My sister and mom have always been closer to each other, as have me and my dad. Additionally, my brothers are closer to her. Since they're all closer in age, I mentioned this in the comment, but We didn't text anyone saying that we're going to be late since my family is usually pretty lax about time. Me and my husband usually show up early enough, so it's unusual for us to be late, and that might have been why they thought we weren't coming. Also, my son was continuing to be a handful all the way there, so he kept us busy, and we kind of didn't think about notifying anyone. I've started looking into grief counseling now that I feel I can at least talk about it. As far as she's told us, my sister hasn't had a miscarriage before. She just had trouble getting pregnant to begin with. From what my brother told me, my sister and mom didn't admit to saying anything. They kind of just looked at each other once my dad mentioned me leaving, and he noticed and asked about it. Then, one of my sister in laws, who was also in the kitchen, my other brother's wife, mentioned what they said, and my dad got mad. My other brother was also apparently angry at them, and it just turned into my mom and sister trying to defend themselves, my dad and other brother yelling, and my brother, who texted me, trying to stay out of it. First of all, I'm so sorry for your loss, OP, but absolutely not the asshole in this situation. That fucking bullshit excuse of, we didn't mean for you to hear that, is such a BS move. She shouldn't be saying that kind of stuff anyway. Simple as that. True supportive family members don't treat others like that. As we always say, people deal with grief in different ways, and taking time away for yourself is absolutely a valid way to process grief. The fact that they didn't understand that in any way is batshit crazy, and the way that you explained yourself, being mindful of her pregnancy at the same time, just shows what a wonderful person you are. Her behavior is simply cruel. You didn't cause any drama. You overheard the truth about how your sister talks about you when you're not around. They're not angry about you leaving, which, in my opinion, was the correct thing to do anyway. It's about them being exposed for their shitty behavior. And Fly Throwaway says grief has no time limit. Recovery from a miscarriage sucks because of hormones, pain, and emotional suffering. The fact that your family thinks you needed to seemingly suck it up and get over it is ridiculous. So no, you weren't wrong for taking time and dealing with your loss. It sounds like they are more focused on your sister finally getting pregnant, and they want you to do the same. It's like, how dare you make your miscarriage about yourself? Don't you know your sister's pregnant? So your sister, who has struggled with infertility, finally gets pregnant and decides that a miscarriage is no big deal because it happens all the time, and you already have a kid? Your brother is upset because the family fight wouldn't have happened if you just sucked it up and stayed. No consequence for your mom and sister. I'm sorry, but hell no, not the asshole. Ask your sister if she remembers not being able to get pregnant, and ask her to imagine what she would have done if she overheard you saying, she's probably staying home again. You know she isn't the first woman to suffer infertility. She can always adopt if she wants a kid so bad. Yeah, your sister likely dreaded being around pregnant women and babies because of her struggles, even if she wasn't vocal about it. But now that she is pregnant and the only pregnant sister, she thinks she can look down and judge you. Imagine if it was reversed. I bet your family would be having her over for dinner and asking you to stay home because you were pregnant and it was too hard for her. I'm sorry, but she is a selfish jerk, and I wouldn't accept any apology she gives. If she does apologize, she isn't sorry because she was wrong for what she said. She is sorry she got caught saying it. Your family is wrong for blaming you for being rightfully upset because your sister faced the consequences of voicing her thoughts out loud. Bitchy Bitch says your closest people should support you, not talk behind your back when you're not there. People grieve differently. They should have been happy that you're at the stage where you're ready to socialize. Not the asshole, for me. Here's your updated message. Hi, everyone. I want to thank you all for your incredible support and feedback on my last post. This update is mostly about a few different conversations I had, and I really appreciate the advice and suggestions you shared. I took your advice and called my dad to apologize for leaving early. He completely understood, and we had a great conversation. He even asked if we could go out to lunch this week because he missed seeing me, so we made plans. Then, I spoke with my husband and told him that I didn't think I could have stayed and still believed that leaving was the best thing for us. He apologized for invalidating my feelings and said he would have preferred us to spend time with family, but not at the cost of my mental well being. He even offered to call my brother, not the one who texted me, to set up a play date for our son with his cousins so he could see some family, which I appreciated. Later, my mom called. Apparently, my dad had told her we talked. She apologized for taking so long to reach out, saying she felt ashamed and didn't know how to talk to me. She assured me she wouldn't have let Eva say what she did if she knew I was there, and explained that Eva had been hormonal and frustrated. My mom said she didn't want to make things worse by calling her out at that moment. She felt terrible for hurting my feelings, and I thanked her for the apology, but told her I needed more time before meeting up. Eva then texted me, and I wanted to hear her out, so I called her. She apologized profusely and emphasized that she didn't mean what she said, attributing it to the same things my mom mentioned. Apparently, she and my brother in law had a big fight about it when they got home, which delayed her reaching out. We had a long conversation where she confessed that she had suffered a few early miscarriages before telling us she was pregnant, and she felt like she had to keep smiling through it all. This made her slightly resent how I was handling my own situation. I explained that I had been keeping my distance to let her enjoy her pregnancy, and that it was tough for me with her being pregnant. She felt bad for misunderstanding and thinking I was shutting everyone out. And I assured her this wasn't the case. I just hadn't let anyone in yet. She understood and was sad, but agreed. By the end of our conversation, things were a bit better. I then sent a long message in our family group chat explaining how I was feeling and why I needed space from meetups for the time being. I expressed that after all these apologies, my mind is clearer, and while I can see myself forgiving them in the future, I'm still hurting. Right now, I think I need time to focus on my husband and son, and also to handle my grief with professional support. Thank you again for reading and for your support. I hope this answers your questions about what happened next. Wishing you all a fantastic day. I'm glad you're taking the time to heal and that your family is supporting you in this. What stood out in your mom's apology was when she said she wouldn't have let Eva say that if she knew you were around. It feels like they were talking about you behind your back and thought it was okay for your sister to say those things. Such a fire. Yes. No one should be able to express their frustrations about anyone else when they're already emotional and going through things themselves. It's clear that your mom and sister made mistakes, but continue taking steps back and heal. I agree. Saying she wouldn't have let Eva say something cruel only if you were around makes it seem like she would have let it happen otherwise. It suggests that your mom only cared about you hearing it, not about the hurtful words your sister said in the first place. It was an apology for you hearing it, but not for Eva saying it. That was absolutely the vibe I got from the mom saying that as well. There's times when I'm sure my brothers and me have said about each other behind each other's back, Angel Bloody Ned, or something like that. But then there's what that sister said in this situation, which, is just fucking awful. If I knew one of my brothers or sister-in-laws were suffering with whatever's going on in their life mentally or otherwise, I'd be concerned if they was keeping themselves away from the family, respecting it, of course, but concerned and just, popping a little message if there's anything you need. I'm here kind of thing, right? Not talking shit behind their back. But whatever happens going forward, I really do wish you all the best. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And let's move on to another story. Now, our next story comes from Stella from Vienna, from the Off My Chest subreddit, and says, I invited 15 of my closest friends to my birthday party but they didn't even reply to the invite, and I feel so ashamed. 7 female made a WhatsApp. P Group invited 15 of my closest friends to my birthday party. I planned a nice theme and dinner. The theme was Italy Deletta at Annis restaurant with 1 live music, Actanis cake ordered from a bakery, and fitting the theme and decorations. I wrote a heartfelt text, how I wanted to celebrate getting older with my oldest and greatest friends. And I detailed everything that was planned for the evening in the invitation. And then nobody replied. Nobody said a word like thanks for the invite or looking forward or anything at all. After a few hours, my boyfriend. posted a party me meet the WhatsApp group, and wrote how excited he was to get it started. Still nothing after almost 2 days. I posted a gif of chirping grills and made a funny comment, still thinking maybe people simply forgot to reply after another day. I started texting people individually if they would like to come or if they're available that evening, and a few responded that they will let me know soon. Others didn't respond at all. After almost a week, not a single one of my friends posted in the group or have messaged me if they would like to come to my birthday party. After zero invitation acceptances, and after reaching out several times, it felt so ashamed, like I was begging people to want to celebrate me or to come. I started to cry, and I felt so depressed, ashamed, and humiliated. I just deleted the WhatsApp group. Nobody has asked me about that. Either my birthday is now just a week away. I called the restaurant and canceled the bakery and canceled my order, and I returned the decorations I bought. Maybe I was a stupid one for organizing all those things beforehand, but I was just so sure that at least a handful of people would leave. Keela Kita come or show up. I'm just so sad. I've known most of my friends for at least 15 years, was their bridesmaid, as their child's godparent, their maid of honor. I was there at graduation ceremonies and birthday celebrations, and I'm truly puzzled. This is truly such a burden to come to me dinner at dinner, which I would have paid him for, and tried to make it into a beautiful evening event for everyone. I'm just so sad and ashamed that I wasn't even worth a reply message. My boyfriend is trying to cheer me up, and he immediately got busy organizing a surprise birthday. Ending form he wonderful. I'm just so glad, and my parents care so much about me. Otherwise, I would just feel absolutely worthless. Commenters as too poor these people. I can assure you, it's extremely rare to have 15 close friends. Opie says mostly people are went to school or kindergarten with there as many as 15, because I invited my friend and additionally their partner, so 6 invitees were actually additional partners. Shop that helps. Sophie comes first update and says, I've read every single comment. The comments range from compassionate to give advice or constructive criticism. All in all, reading all of them felt so incredibly uplifting and cathartic. Thank you all. I will continue reading and answering as much as I can and give you any updates to the people believing I will get a surprise party. I really won't. I think honestly every one of my friends is in their own bubble and has had their own stuff going on and just wasn't feeling it right now, which was definitely hurtful and rude, but at least it didn't feel malicious about my friends. Then they are not bad people at all, but they are probably victim to a world where commitment in general is a rare thing to find, where rules and manners are slowly forgotten, and where being constantly busy is a good enough excuse for anything. I found it rude, but I will not confront them, but rather distance myself. They are my friends, because in times of crisis, they were there for me and we share many good memories. However, as many pointed out, you dog grow apart, and this behavior might be our salt of that. I talked to my boyfriend a lot, and Dee showed him some of the responses, and he was very reassuring. He told me the fact that I cared so much, that I always tried to do things with love and care, that it's one of the things she appreciates and loves most about me, and he never wants me to give that up. I also reflected on me and my character, and I will try and do better myself also, as I also sometimes forget to reply to a text or cancel a lunch last minute. I would try to put the behavior out there that I would like to receive. I ordered myself a birthday calendar and address book and a couple of birthday cards. And I will note, Eve, a birthday of a friend or acquaintance that make and send them a birthday card. Too many of the comments talked about the hurt they felt when people forgot their birthday and didn't show up, and I found the idea to try and do things differently soothing. Thanks for the many birthday wishes they made. Me so happy, PPS, for all the people wanting to come into my party. I wish that would certainly be so cool and make me believe that new friends are just around the corner. Commenter says, hard disagree with a majority here. OPU27, that's well beyond being a child and well beyond expecting anyone to care about your birthday. Like, did you attend 15 birthday parties each year for all these people? You probably did not. Or at least you can sympathize with people who are like, hey, we're in our 20s. No, we've all got jobs and chores to do. Can't we just simply hang out the older? You get the more you need to stop thinking only about yourself. What do other people want to do that you like doing? Maybe next time arrange something that people would mutually like to do, rather than a vanity celebration for something you should have grow. Note of 20 years earlier, Opie says this comment is quite unfriendly, but I still appreciate that you took the time to come. Other update comes in saying, if follow the advice of basically everyone and asked a few of them what happened and why. I wasn't even granted our reply or reaction, especially when I kindly asked all of them to RSVP until a certain date. To all the optimistic people, I have to disappoint you. There wasn't a surprise party planned. Also, all of them used WhatsApp regularly, and all of them saw the invites. The group messages were tick blue. Now, Fort, hair responses, explanations, 4 of them had possible alternative plans and couldn't decide if they wanted to go to my party or to commit other plans. so they just didn't want to say anything until they decided on something. Two girlfriends didn't have confirmation if their partner could attend or not, so again, they just didn't say anything. They didn't know yet all the partners were included in the group chat, though one said she wasn't feeling too well lately and wanted to decide spontaneously to come. One had a valid excuses and says she tried to find childcare for a 6-month-old child all week long. She's the only one with a child and she actually found childcare, so we'll do something with her and her husband. It told all of them how it made me feel that it was rude and that it made me cry and feel unwanted. I also told them that it is their loss because if they don't appreciate me organizing nice events and evenings, this is not the first time I had issues like this. There simply won't be any for them to attend in the future. They all admitted that their behavior was rude and unfriendly and were apologetic and told me that they are sorry. One friend said, "Here, all he messed up after he saw." I deleted the group, have felt pretty bad and wanted to approach Miniways. It is not a deal. But it's something I will not cut them out, as suggested by many. I talk to them, express my hurt, and I will give them the opportunity to learn from their mistakes and to growth. They are flaky in society, that axie. TS flaky and non-committal behavior, they're human faulty. And I'm also not a perfect human who does behave ideal all the time. I know that this answer may disappoint some. I will, however, make room in my life for people are more reliable and to be appreciative and enthusiastic about theme parties. I will not rely too much on my current friends. Al, your messages were uplifting and nice, and I honestly feel a lot better now, and I'm starting to look forward to my birthday again. I feel also incredibly optimistic that I will find like-minded people and friends in the F. Uchuri, and I won't give up. I'll throw NIS parties and dinners again. I will just have hope in my heart that my friends will have changed it, and I will also have made new great friends by then. Thanks a lot, everyone. P.S. to everyone telling me about their bait experiences, their birthday parties when nobody attended, and the moments they felt lonely. It feels so bad for you and with you, and wish for every single one of you to have been people who love and appreciate you, help me, to feel less ashamed and less alone. What do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down and the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you for being here, getting involved in today's stories. Your love, your support, your time, it always means the absolute world to Meza. Thank you so much, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.